Okay, all right, so welcome to our first lesson in Sentence Smart. And I'm going to take some green cards. So if you want to join me, take about 5 green cards out of your box. These are the ones I'm going to choose. Paper, television, phone, okay, and I'm going to choose Rosa Parks. Okay, terrific. Now, what do I want you to do with these? Well, just watch me, and then I want you to do the same thing, okay? So I'll take this paper here, this particular card, and I want to make a sentence out of it. But it's important that I put this at the beginning of my sentence. So I'll say something like, paper is necessary for notebooks, okay? Or I could say, my paper or the paper got wet. So it either is the first or the second word in my sentence. My green paper got wet. So that could be my sentence. Then I want to write that down. Well, let's try television. Television is something that people watch every day. So that's a great way to, that's a good sentence. Maybe you could create a better one. The television is broken, or the television doesn't work. You see? So again, this has to be the first word or the second word in my sentence. Then I'm going to write that sentence down. Okay? Now, the next word I'm going to choose is phone. My iPhone got stolen. Oh boy. My iPhone got stolen. See, I made a sentence with phone, or phones are important for people. And I use it as the first or the second word in my sentence. I want it right at the beginning of my sentence. What about end? The end is near, said the team as they're about to win. The end comes quickly. Okay? The end of the road or the end of the drink is my favorite part. So end, I want to use end also in a sentence. So what I'm going to do then is come back later and show you the sentences I wrote. But then what I want you to do is to take 4 or 5 cards out. Oh, what about Rosa Parks? I forgot her. So I could say Rosa Parks was a famous African American who stood up for civil rights. And that would be my sentence about Rosa Parks. But again, notice she comes first in my sentence just at the very beginning. So those are my cards. You choose your own. Write your sentences, 5 sentences, choose 5 green cards, and make those sentences. Make those cards come at the very beginning of those sentences. And you'll see later on, that will tell us who or what the sentence is all about. So go ahead, have some fun, and make your own sentences with 5 green cards, each card a different sentence. So one of the ways that you might want to make sentences easier is if you take one of your white cards. You see I have a green card here, and I said name. But I also have white cards, and I could say this name. And these cards are what I call sentence starter cards. The, okay, and okay. These. I can use any of these to begin, that's funny, any of these to begin sentences. There, okay, or that. So what if I said, what if I chose that? That name is so funny. Or that name reminds me of my friend's name. So you have these white cards in your pack. Take them out and use them at the beginning of sentences by placing them just before a green card. And it's easier then to begin your sentence. I can say, the name that I love the most is Chris. I could even add an S to this and say, those names sound familiar. So I added an S. I could say those names sound familiar. What about a name is something that everyone has to have. That's funny. Had a hard time making that sentence up. Okay. So again, use your sentence starter white cards to put them in front of your green cards to make a sentence. I'll do one more, book. I can say, these books, I can add an S there. These books are my favorite books in the whole world. Or I can say, this book is so cool. A book like this is something that everyone should read. The book was on the shelf, but no one could find it. I could even say there are many books. Well, no, I don't want to do that, right? Because remember, I've got to keep that. So forget about that one. Take that one out of your mind. So, but that gives you an example of the types of sentences I can create by simply using my sentence starter cards just before my green cards. So go ahead, have some fun making sentences with your white cards and your green cards. You know what? Do about 5 of them. At the end of the day, or at the end of the week perhaps, you want to have at least 10 to 15 sentences with either white and green, or just green if you'd like at the very beginning, but keep your green cards very close to the beginning of your sentences, okay? All right, see you on the other side. Have fun.